Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you for tuning back in. Now, special day, because we finished doing the truck tour for this one, the bucket truck. It's had all its racking in it now, and we've done the video for it. We've done the full tour for it, which is going to be coming out 2-3 weeks time, somewhere around there, I would say. It is I'm properly excited when it comes out. It's it's a banging video. But the more important one at the moment is this van here, because we got 2 of these, and I think literally thousands of you have been asking for us to do a van tour for these ones. So this is the van tour for the Renault Trafic. So I'll start from the front and work round. Now, we got these ones 2 years ago. I mean, it was a bit of a story. In fact, if you go back to some of my older content, you'll see it, because actually when I bought these 2, I didn't actually have a driver for the second one. So I had a brand new van sat there and we weren't using it. They're in full-time use now, but these are the 2. They're both, the other one Joe's taken home, but they're both exactly the same. So this one is literally a carbon copy of the other one. So I'll go through them. We'll start at the front. So these were the Renault Trafic Premier Editions. These leave the factory at 150 horsepower. Once I got them, I had them mapped up to 165 just to give a bit of extra punch. Now, obviously, we've got the obligatory Go Faster stripes. And these, just for anybody who owns a Renault Trafic, when you get this from the factory, this is just it's like a cellophane. And you're actually supposed to remove it. And you'll see some people have removed it. I actually didn't realise, but you can remove it and it's chrome underneath. So you get a choice of blue or chrome, which I kept the blue because I quite like it. The interior is probably the nicest part of this though, because on the inside, I wanted these to be as comfortable as possible. Contractors spend their entire lives, they literally spent their lives in their vans. So with these ones, the only things I paid for that were optional upgrades was tyre pressure monitoring, which I can genuinely tell you, if you ever get the option, don't take it. It's really not worth the hassle. But I did have the leather interior. I had Napa leather fitted to all of them, and it is definitely worth the money. I love it. It's such good stuff. And it does I think it makes a difference. And some people will question what's the need for it, but it's nice to drive something that you like. And it's not just a van anymore. It's something that's a bit more personal, something that you have pleasure in driving. So on the inside, the only real alterations I've made is the radio system which we've got, which is in all the vans. So these ones just work off the 4G network, and each of the vans have got them, and they're all linked to the handheld system that we use. Basically, as long as you're in mobile phone reception, you can talk anywhere. So one of them can be in Birmingham, the other one can be in Dundee, and it'll talk like they're sat next to you. So they're very good. All of them have these and these. And you can select who you want to talk to, or you can just talk to everybody. These vans have been pretty reliable overall. The only thing I ever had an issue with, because some people knock Renault, but I really think they're fantastic. The only one thing I ever had an issue was with the stereo head in this van. I was driving along, and just one day it literally stopped, and it had to go back in for a new replacement head unit. But other than that, that's literally the only thing that's gone wrong with it. It's been good as gold. These have got about 24,000 miles on the clock now, so they're trucking on absolutely fine. Now, on the right-hand side here, this is all the stuff that Sortimo International fitted when I took them up to Manchester to get the vans racked out. In fact, I'll leave the links for them on the screen now. So it's just the beacons, the hand wash, and the work lights. And the main reason really that I just got these is they come with a lot of kit as standard. So these have cruise control, parking assist, air conditioning, climate control, start, stop, DAB stereo. There's a lot of stuff that comes as standard, which is just that for me was the main reason I got them. And also they're such easy vans to drive. But anyway, let me show you the back of the van now, because that's the bit everybody wants to see really, to be honest. In fact, what I'll do first, I'll just show you before I show you the inside, I'll show you the roof rack. Now again, Sortimo did all of this. They've done the racking, all the internal racking and the roof racks on all of our fleet. They've done all of it. So you've got the beacons on the front and the back. On the roof, you've got the pull-down ladder rack. Now that really is indispensable. If there is one piece of kit that I'd recommend you get, it's that, especially if you've got, I mean, tool vans like the Renault Master, like the bucket truck and stuff, or even, it just makes life infinitely easier. And you literally just push it up, comes out, and then your ladder drops down. And the great thing about these is you don't have to tie them down. Once you push it back up, it locks the ladder in. So you haven't got to have clamps or any of that nonsense. You can do away with all of it. It's great for urban parking if you're trying to park back to back. You know, like the old Renault Trafic I had the pull down ladder rack from here and you pulled it back and down. Well, that's great as long as there's no one behind you or you're not up against a wall or something. Here, you can just pull up on the side of the curb and you can just literally load your ladder, and that's it, it's done. So that's an indispensable bit of kit. I'd recommend anyone to get one of them. Let's do the back. So the back of the van, we've got the chevrons, protection plates, top and bottom deadbolts. Renault Trafics, the same as all vans nowadays, do have security weaknesses. On the Renault Trafic, it's the back doors. That is the biggest weak spot on these. And what they do, you can buy these plates for about 50 quid on eBay, Amazon. They're pretty popular now. What happens is if you don't have one of these, the way thieves get into your van, you can lock it, walk away, go to bed at night, and what happens is thieves will come up, they'll take a 10mm drill bit, drill a little hole about here, and they just drill a hole and get a screwdriver and they just lift the latch up. But what it means is when they lift the latch up and open the back doors, the alarm doesn't go off. It's a real design flaw on these vans. So the best way to get around it is you buy these stainless steel plates. Now you can buy, I had both of them fitted. In fact, it was Sussex Installations that did it. Anything to do with van security, that's your man. In fact, I'll leave a link for him here somewhere on the screen now. He did all the security. In fact, he's done the security on all of these as well. But he did external plates and then as an inner protection plate. So even if someone drills through the outside, you still can't, there's an internal protection plate. And it's the same with in fact, it's the same with the side of the van. On these, again, it's a weakness. About here, people are very crude and they'll get a hole saw or something, they'll cut through and lift the latch up. But Jeff from Sussex Installations, they fitted, you get an internal protection shield and they're fitted. It's somewhere round about here. So even if someone cuts a hole to try and get in, they can't because there's an internal protection plate there. And same thing again, top and bottom deadbolts, just for security. But anyway, oh yeah, work light on the back. Sortimo are very good. They created pretty much most of this design. I said I just wanted something that I can fit as much in as I can, and there's lots and lots of storage for little odds and ends, nuts, bolts, batteries, all that sort of stuff. And this is more or less, all I said was I wanted pull-out drawers at the back, but the rest of it, they created it. They've got a CAD design system and they just came up with the concept. So I'll start with these ones, pull-out drawers at the bottom. These are brilliant because it literally doubles the space in your van. They're fantastic. So I just use this one for carrying cable, 2.5, 6mm, flexi tails, all that sort of stuff. And then this one is test meter, soldering iron, plug-in torch, fluorescent tube tester, battery tester, silicone gun. The only thing I did change, Sortimo have hexa flooring, but on these vans, I took it out and I put checker plates in because I just love checker plate. It's just such a, in fact, on the back of the bucket truck there, it's just such beautiful stuff. I've just got a real soft spot for checker plate. The only criteria I had was that I wanted this to be at least 650 wide, so you can still fit a full-size oven in. If you buy it in all the packaging, it'll still slide in. So, bottom drawer. If I had to make a change to this racking, the only thing I would change is this bottom drawer. What I would have liked, and I just didn't think about it at the time, was this should have pulled out here from the back, because if you store anything in the back, it just means you can't open this drawer. So if I could change it, that would be the one thing I'd do. This would be blanked off and you'd have one drawer which pulls out this way. But it's not a big thing, it's just one of those niggles, but it's something I've learned to live with. This is all stuff that you don't use constantly, and it's bulky stuff. The Bosch Progressor hole saw bits, Barco socket sets, knee pads, all that goes in there. Now these ones are indispensable, they really are fantastic. So the T-boxes from Sortimo. And I like that you can just literally slot in, slot out super quick. I mean, this one is the fuses and crimps, but I just like everything to have a home. Every single thing has a home, and it just means you can work so much more efficiently because you can just go to your van and just change boxes at will. And you open it up, everything is there. It's super organized. I'm just a lover of organization. So this was like, yeah, I was nursing a semi when they were doing this. I was loving life. But yeah, the nut and bolt drawer, we use that for earth rods, all that sort of stuff, trunking, bits and pieces like that. I won't take all of them out and show you, but batteries, compression glands, T&E clips, Wagos, screws, nuts and bolts, fuses and crimps. This side, now every van has, I've called mine the general shit drawer. So it's just all the stuff which I can't be bothered to give at home. So spare fuses, RJ45 tester, yeah, cable tape, all the usual bits and pieces. Single boxes. Again, I just like everything to have a home. It makes things so much easier. Dry lining boxes, single boxes, surface boxes. And then up there is the Bosch stuff, 18 volt torch. I don't know if I've shown you guys this. Did I see I've shown you this in the content? Little pull out chair. Not sure if I have or not. It's just a adjustable chair. It's great if you're doing fuse boards and you're, you know, if you want to just select the height you want to work at, you just select what height you want and you make it so. But that's a good bit of kit for doing, if you're on your, you know, if you're at a certain height for hours, that's really good. It wasn't bad, it's like 20 quid on eBay. It's really good. Drop-in torch, really good. You can get these from Screwfix and they're like 20 quid with a little 12 volt charger. I just wired it onto the interior lights and it just, as soon as you drop it in, it just starts charging, but it means everywhere you go, you've got a fully charged torch. So it's really worth the money. Work lights at the back, they will come on together with the switch on the dashboard at the back. And then on this side is just, we keep up here, this is things like just spare fuses. Just handy to have a little selection of ones on the van that you're constantly dipping in and out of. And I just put it on a bit of DIN rail, but it's just, you've always got a selection there, and then big wipes and latex gloves. So on the side of the van, we have as so. So again, Sortimo pretty much came up with this design. I just said, look, I've got twin side loading doors. I just want to be able to access everything from both sides. So they gave me this sort of dual compartment idea, and it's the same on the other side. So this side, I just use for white goods and accessories. So 2-gang switches, single sockets, 1-gang switches, USB sockets. That was how we did it. And on the other side was light bulbs and lamps and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, single sockets, 2-gang switches. We just keep pendants, pull cords, all of that sort of stuff. And then whenever the boys are running low on stuff, they'll just, like you've seen, they just scan it out of the warehouse and they just refill these tubs, so they've always got a certain amount of, you know, everything on the van at any one time. Up here you've got, we keep emergency lights, all the things which we're sort of constantly changing when you go to jobs and stuff. So timer fans, heat alarms, smoke alarms, that sort of stuff. We keep ACO mostly because that's, in rentals they seem to be ACO pretty much everywhere. And I like them because they just literally, you can leave the base and just click in and out a new smoke detector. So we tend to run with those as much as possible. Battery smoke alarms, you always use those, get through those quite quickly. Bungees, a couple of bulkhead lights. Now down here is the power bank. Now we're finding when we do EICRs and stuff, people don't want their power off because so many people are working from home now, and this is such a great way to get around the problem. So you just pull up, we can just run. We've got the smaller power banks inside, the little Power Oak ones, but if they're running larger stuff, then we just use this one and we just run an extension lead into the house and they can plug in, you know, they can plug in bigger stuff. So it really is an indispensable bit of kit. It's quite heavy, it's about 40 kilos, but it's brilliant if you're doing EICRs. It's a really good bit of kit. Ladders, workbench, a set of telly steps. People are a bit thing about telly steps. Some people like them, some people don't. I try not to use them, but there are times where telly steps are they just do a job other ladders can't. So that's the reason I try not to use them, but we keep them on the van because sometimes they get to a place you can't get using another ladder. And the other side, I'll show you now. So this side is what we use for, it's all lamps, that sort of stuff. So this side, it's GU10s, E27s, candle lamps, G4s, G9s. And then we've got like one which is all the miscellaneous stuff, unusual types of lamps, but you see them in offices sometimes, these 4-pin push-in compact fluorescents. MR16 halogens, our days of using these are numbered, but we keep them because there are some rentals you come across where you still see them. They're still surprisingly common, and we're trying to phase them out with LEDs whenever we see them, but some customers still ask for them, so we keep them on the van. We generally tend to keep the minimum amount of stuff power tool wise on the van. If we know we've got jobs coming up where they'll need stuff, then they can take it off the racks in the unit and they can scan it out like you've seen. But at the moment we just got a jigsaw and 2 sets of combis. So sometimes that'll be full, sometimes it'll be empty, depends what jobs they're doing that week. which will dictate what we use there. Hand wash units, brilliant bit of kit. I would not have vans without them. The bucket truck, that's now got one. They're just fantastic. Just fill it up the top, 15-litre tank. As soon as the engine's running, it just starts heating, and you've always got hot water during the day then. And it's just nice, like sometimes when you're doing something where, you know what it's like when you come out of an EICR or something, and you wipe your feet on the way out rather than wiping on the way in. It's just nice to have, it's just nice to have hot water on tap. And as soon as you're finished with it, just push it up, that's it. And then you just got a little container down there, which you just empty out when it's full. I did ask whether Sortimo whether you can just vent it straight under the van, but they said apparently there's a bit of noise from the eco-mentalists about whether that's the right thing to do or not, but I just haven't got around to drilling a hole in the floor of the van yet. So that's blue roll. And then up there is just silicons, lithium grease, WD-40, some non-maintained little spotlights, the little ones and you see them in communal hallways and stuff. They're very good. Keep some of them on the van. First aid kit, breathing, dust masks and stuff, bin bags. Eye wash station, really, really, really good bit of kit. You can buy those for about 30 quid. Worth every penny. It's the sort of thing you won't use it every month. You probably won't use it. I've used it once in 2 years, but trust me, that one time, you are so glad it's on the van. And then the Deb's hand station, so just protective cream, hand wash and sanitizer. I ran out of sanitizer during lockdown, and it was like, people were like proper profiteering. It was like 50 quid for a little sachet. I was like, sod that, I'll just use Fairy Liquid. And then the Sortimo backpack, that's pretty much my go-to rucksack if I'm doing call-outs or breakdown. In fact, anything. If I walk into a customer's house, it'll be that backpack that I take with me. And I love backpacks over. I've got the Velocity tool bag, the handheld one, but once you've had a backpack, you just wouldn't go back. So they're really, really good. And then what else we got? The vise. That's one of those things, again, you don't use it very often, but they really are brilliant when you do need them. And I use it mostly for cutting like 4-inch trunking if you've got a grinder or something, or you want a piece of tray or something and you haven't got, you know what it's like when you're on the side of the road, you just need to make a cut and you need something to hold it. That really is probably, it's one of the best pieces of kit in the van. And you don't use it that often, but when you use it, it's really worth its money. And that's it, it just pops in and it just stays in there, out of the way. Yeah, the only other things really which I altered when I got the van was I just put the work lights on the side and they come on with the ones at the back. So it's just nice if you're working at night and you want to have your lights on, it just gives you a nice spread of light from both these. But that's pretty much it. The yellow chevrons on the side, that was for highways work, that is a requirement, we had to do it. And the 18-inch alloys. As soon as I got the van, I put those straight on because actually it had 17-inch rims on it. I took those off, brand new, and I sold those for 600 quid, and I got these, I think, for 800. So I had nice wheels and it only cost me 200 quid. So that was why I put those on. So ladies and gentlemen, I think that is about it for that van. Like I say, we've got another one and they're literally identical inside. They're like that, the other one is a carbon copy. But that's it, we are pretty much done with that van. The next one which we're going to do a van tour of is the bucket truck in there. That one's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks' time. We've actually just finished doing the recording for it, but there's some other content which has to go out first. But I am super excited about that one. It's a really cool video, that one. But I'm going to leave you in peace. All the links are coming up on the screen now. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Subscribe, like, and just leave all your thoughts below. Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. Chuck it all below. I'll see you in a week's time.